Hello. Hello. Sting. Testing. Testing. Sting. Testing. 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 Hey. Hello. We'll kick this off. May or may not have the chat visible while I'm doing this. The crap. Um, so yeah, sorry, it's been a little while, but get back into it with an update. I think now is probably a good time for an update. Pretty much what I thought was going to happen has happened. So no massive changes right now, but sorry, just checking what Canon can't see. Make sure you can see my screen properly. Maximize it. So yeah, look, it's been an interesting week or two. I was a little surprised with how the general market's gone. Uh, that's a fair rip there. I guess the double bottom here kind of gave away what it was going to do. It looks like it's still got some strength in it though. It looks like at the moment, it has closed or it's going to close. No, it looks like it has closed. Um, Closing strong. Yesterday it was selling off into the close, so for it to actually bounce up like that today, it's a little surprising as well. But you know what they say, the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. So that's why it's important to just watch the charts. Don't worry too much about the news. I do watch the news a little bit as well, but the more information sources you're looking at on both sides of the fence, the better your judgment calls will be. And then it's just a matter of trying to listen to your gut. So, look, everything's up at the moment. IWM's still struggling a little bit, which I guess is a bit of a barometer of just how things are actually going, but it's stuck in this new channel here. So we were in a big channel up here before, and that channel was around the 210 mark, was the bottom. So we haven't even sort of breached into that yet. So I'm looking just at basically this being sideways for a little bit longer. If we get a pump through that, then we're going to get a bit more positive action. Historically, if you watch, I strongly recommend watching FX Evolution's videos. The guy's really cool in the stuff that he brings to the table. And basically it says that the March-April months are quite strong generally, both in midterm years in the US and just in general year on year. So expecting this to be reasonably positive. We may get a pullback. We are on a 200 moving average here and the 100 moving average. We may get a bit of a pullback, but I'd expect a little bit of strength. I don't think we're going to see all-time highs anytime soon. But generally a pullback, a bit more strength, and then I'll be looking quite closely for June to see what happens in the general market. The canary in the coal mine, it's still high. If we get past the zero level, if this inverts, the US 2-year versus 10-year bond, then we're looking probably in the year or two afterwards there being a major crash on it. So just keeping an eye on that in general. Quickly over to the Aussie market. The Aussie market's been quite strong. So I have sort of put all my super back in somewhere down here. Just because looking at the charts and looking at what's going strong. So the metals area around the world, the resources area is going quite strong, and Australia is obviously pretty strong in that department. That's a big part of our market. So figured I'd put it back in and see how it goes in the near term. And so we'll go straight into Bitcoin and Ethereum. Basically, with Bitcoin, it had a good breakout of this downward trend that was happening, and we basically retested that. So it came back down, hit the 20 moving average, hit the 20 moving average and bounced back up. And we'd be expecting something similar. We just do a move on that. I'd be expecting a similar move from here, which gets us back up to this resistance level. So I am expecting Bitcoin to sort of hit around that 45,000 mark and then come back down, probably back down to this area here, which has had some resistance in the past. It's sort of an area of a bit of support and things over here. So it may drop down to this volume area, but you'd be looking for a pullback somewhere around here before we try and retest these again. Would it go lower than that? Yes, we may actually come back down and test the bottom of our descending triangle again. Oops. So bounce off the bottom is a possibility, but this trend line, as we've shown before, is a massive channel. If we look at it as a whole, this is the bottom of this huge channel. In the short term, if we're seeing strength in all markets and there's a bit of confidence comes back into the market, then I am looking for a breakthrough of this and then sort of a retest of these 51,000 levels, maybe up to the 54, maybe up to this sort of level, 52, 3, something like that. If we get a retest of that, I'm actually expecting that to be around the June mark and potentially expecting another drop off back down. if we do, I posted on Twitter the other day under into the cryptoverses post, Ethereum in particular, and I'll use Ethereum for this. Let's see the log. Go to the log curve. There was some similarities in what we're seeing here compared to back in the past. Sorry, it's lagging quite a lot. Anyway, kind of expecting this to travel along the bottom for a little bit more, potentially like just sideways in this sort of zone, and then we may see a pump up to the top of this range. That may take a year or two. So it's like long term, short term, I'm not expecting any huge price action, but certainly short term, I'm expecting sort of mid. So it's just a matter of watching the charts, looking for any sort of major turnarounds. We've got a fair bit of volume around that 47 mark. So if we do clear this and we get good volume through here, you're going to jump up to that 47 pretty quickly. But then be looking for sort of a turnaround somewhere between 47 and 48, 49. So looking for those turnaround candles. Oh, right. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention was these, the Bitcoin, the BTUSD shorts. This to me was a massive indicator that we were going back up for a bit. There's no sign of this going back up at all at the moment. So the big guys aren't shorting this market at the moment. There's some quite bullish announcements that have happened as well in terms of JP Morgan, I think, is invested in it now, and the biggest hedge fund in the world is investing in Bitcoin. So there's plenty of upside at the moment, and there's a lack of Bitcoin on exchanges as well. So there's a lot of pressure that's going to push price up at the moment. Ethereum has been a bit stronger than Bitcoin, in my opinion, at the moment, and probably will continue to be. It's coming up against the 200 EMA on the daily, so expect a bit of a pullback from there, a bit of resistance. If it doesn't, potentially the pullback area would be around the 3250, which would kind of make sense. The 3250 would be my target, just based on if we get a similar pump to that, maybe 33. I'd be putting in my take profits around the never try and take it all the way to your maximum. Get out near the top, because other people are going to be getting out the same area. So, but look, it's both Bitcoin and Ethereum are performing pretty well, behaving pretty well in terms of technical analysis. They're pulling back, they're hitting key levels and bouncing off. So, I think as I said, we're in for a little bit more upside. But just keep an eye out for those pullbacks back down this bottom of this channel. That's about it. Most of the other coins, the small caps, are doing okay as well. As I've sort of been saying, I've been starting to average in down around these levels. I'm particularly seeing the Bitcoin shorts drop off and the likely pumps in those. So we're getting a lot of these gaming coins just starting to make higher lows. So everything's pointing in the right direction for me at this stage. Global economics side, I'm going to try and make some money, take some profits on the way up on this one. I don't know that we'll get a full blow off top sort of thing. Just we'll get a decent run, and then we'll probably come back down and just generally sideways for a little. Hoping not. you got to take opium out of this when you're trying to trade. A lot of these are heading back up, so all good signs in the market at the moment. We'll go back to our paper trading, just check on that. Overall, still got a lot in the red, but overall, Luna and AVAX are starting to shine. IMX is going well, and VRA is going second lot of VRA. So this one's still down. Yeah, so generally, down 4% overall since we started on 19th of January. It's a pretty good thing. I could probably put a little bit more in this month actually as well. That date. Now's probably a good time. I wouldn't be putting a huge amount in or taking any huge profits at the moment either. So I've made most of my plays in the last few weeks personally. So yeah, that's about it. Hopefully that helps, and none of this is financial advice, obviously. This is just the way I'm looking at the market at the moment. So have a good day. I'll catch you later.